And there's a live shot from Camden Yards. Big series today. I'm Sarah Perlman. Joining me now, Paul Manny with MASN All Access. Paul, what a day. A big day for us.
Yeah.
We cover both teams, the Orioles and the Nationals, for MASN. We're excited. This is the Battle of the Beltways, a game and a series we look forward to all year long.
Yeah, absolutely. Big week. We got a lot planned, plenty of segments, plenty of interviews scheduled for you on both sides.
Yeah.
Nats and Orioles coverage. Game starts today at 1, by the way. Coverage for O's, that would be on MASN, and coverage for Nats, that's on MASN too. Be sure to tune in at 12:30. But we're going to talk about this series right now.
Yeah, why not? So we'd love to see your feedback, what you guys think about the games coming up, the pitching matchup. Is this a rivalry? Because we like to hear about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll start with today, Paul. Alex Cobb, he has an ERA over 7. He's just 1-6, looking for his second win with the Orioles, obviously since being acquired this past offseason. Got a late start. He's not pitching the way he'd like to be pitching. So I think that's definitely exciting to look out for. And he's going to face off against none the other Gio Gonzalez, who's been really, really great this year. I mean, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I know Alex Cobb came back a little bit early, was throwing yesterday in the outfield at Camden Yards.
Wow.
Giving himself a little bit extra time, trying to get ready for this big matchup against Gio. And Gio has been great this year, but throughout his career, you see the numbers, 1-6 in 10 career starts against Baltimore, ERA close to 4.5 rather. So he's somebody who has struggled for whatever reason against the Orioles, and Alex Cobb has struggled this year. Both pitchers looking to reverse the trend.
His only victory against the Orioles came back in 2009 when he was actually with the Oakland A's. So he's going to look for his second win against the Orioles today. But the teams are heading in different directions, right? So the Nationals want to keep it going. The Orioles, of course, just looking to compete against this team. And they've done really, really well, actually, against. The Orioles have won or tied every series except one, dating back to 2007, Paul.
Yeah, they're 38-26 all-time against the Nationals. They've, for whatever reason, even when the Orioles are having down years, they've dominated this series. It's not exactly, you know, a rivalry. We also want to hear what you guys think. Is it truly a rivalry? Is a rivalry just made up by the fact that they're in proximity? Is there any bad blood there?
39 miles away from each other is definitely something to be a rivalry. You're competing with, obviously, MASN TV markets, fans, because Orioles were here first. Some fans that live in DC switched to the Nats side, so a lot to look out for.
Exactly. You know, how many people switched over when they were close by? How many people stuck with the Orioles? And how many people are just brand new Nats fans that came when this series started? So, but if it is a rivalry, the Orioles have absolutely dominated it for whatever reason. And even though they're having a down year again this year, they could do it again.
A really exciting pitching matchup I think a lot of fans are going to want to see is actually tomorrow. Jeremy Hellickson, who spent the second half of the 2017 season last year, was with the Orioles. Now, of course, he's with the Nationals. He was okay with the Phillies, came to the Orioles last season, was just not good. But I think Davey Martinez, like you said earlier today we were talking, Paul, has figured it out. He's not facing the lineup the third time around for the Nationals, and he's been really, really great. An ERA under 3 with the Nats this season. Yeah,
hasn't lost yet. He's just 1-0. It looks like Davey Martinez just figured out the perfect way to pitch this guy. He's not letting him get through the third time through that lineup, even when he had a perfect game going about a month ago.
So that's the only time he actually went past the 6th inning.
Yeah, and Davey still gave him the early hook. Didn't let him get into too much into the 8th or 9th in that game rather. So, you know, this is probably the best way to pitch this guy. When you have the bullpen arms behind him and you feel confident throwing those guys out there in high leverage situations, then Jeremy Hellickson, just let him get 6, maybe 7 innings, and then just give him the hook, and he's been phenomenal.
Well, we have to see, right? Because he's pitching at Camden Yards, a hitter-friendly park. He wasn't good at home last year when he was with the Orioles, so I'm sure he's kind of excited probably for a redemption aspect. Then there's Dylan Bundy, who struck out 14, a career high in his last outing against the White Sox. So I'm personally excited for this matchup, more so than the following day, actually, because two pitchers that have been really good of late are going to face off against each other at a very hitter-friendly park, Paul.
Absolutely, and you know Dylan Bundy has seen what Kevin Gausman has done in the rotation, and aside from Gausman's last start, he's been probably the ace of this staff. So Bundy wants to get back on track. We've seen some great outings from him this season, including opening day, and we've seen some poor outings. So we want to see more consistency from Bundy if you're an Orioles fan.
Before we get to some more different topics, the third day, the third pitching matchup, Max Scherzer. Nothing like saying welcome to David Hess for his third start in the MLB with facing off against Max Scherzer.
Yeah, this is the one I'm probably most looking forward to because Hess has looked good. I mean, let's be honest. He's, you know, thrown into a difficult situation. He's looked really good. Scherzer, on the other hand, has been Max Scherzer. He's been the best version of himself also this season. Maybe his best season so far. Could win his 3rd straight Cy Young this season. And he's also done well against the Orioles. 2-0 here at Camden Yards. Has an ERA under 3.5 against the Orioles in his career. 5-2 for that record. So Scherzer is Scherzer. He does well, even though this is a hitter-friendly park. For whatever reason, he does well against the Orioles as well. But Hess might have a good outing in him as well, and could hopefully keep that Nationals lineup in check.
Yeah, I hope so. Well, I guess we'll see. I just want a good game. I think Max Scherzer's either going to go out, strike everyone out, or he's going to give up a few home runs, because he does give up home runs. Not really a contact pitcher, but when he does, it's normally the long ball. And as we know, the Orioles are well known for their home runs.
Yeah, yes, they are. And the weather, hopefully, it can get a little bit warmer. The rain will hold off this week. The warmer it's going to be, that the more the balls are going to be flying out here at Camden Yards. So should be interesting series. You saw the shot earlier, just a little bit overcast today. Hopefully that rain holds off and it heats up. Yeah.
So you're excited. You're most excited for the Max Scherzer David Hess pitching matchup.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to go with tomorrow. I want to see Jeremy Hellickson back on the mound at Camden Yards. We covered him for the Orioles. We cover him with the Nationals.
Yeah.
I want to see what he does against his old team. Played here for just a little bit, but I'm excited to see what he could do here, of course, against Dylan Bundy.
Yeah.
But today, is really great, just because Gio Gonzalez, top 10 ERA this season.
Yeah.
Can't complain about that. A good lefty here at Camden Yards, so excited for that one as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And the offenses will be fun to watch. We know that the Nationals, despite the fact, I don't know if you've been paying attention, the Nationals are missing about half of their lineup. Daniel Murphy's been out the whole season. Ryan Zimmerman is out right now.
Matt Wieters.
Yep, we could keep going on and on. But they're missing a ton of their players. It is a shame that we're not seeing Matt Wieters back here at Camden Yards.
But we're going to see Juan Soto again. That's something
we will see Juan Soto again. That's true.
The youngest player on the field.
Yeah, Nationals are climbing up those NL East standings despite the fact that they're still missing so many guys.
Let's actually talk about those standings a little bit. National League, obviously third. You see it right there, 29-22, just one game back of the Atlanta Braves. They're inching up close to that. But then the Orioles on the other side, dead last of the American League East. They're just trying to get to hopefully some more wins right now. That's all I can say about that team ball.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in the past week, they're playing about 500 ball. It's better than where they started, I'll say that.
Exactly.
And you hope that they can turn things around, in the short term and in the long term as well. Some changes might come, we'll see. But it'll be interesting to follow, this series, see where both teams are at. Could be a good marker to see if the Nats are going to get over that hump that they've had historically. For whatever reason, not beating the Orioles.
And it's exciting just to see an NL East team face off against an AL East team. Two very different divisions, so it will just put both teams, I think, in check a little bit, like you said.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exciting matchup. Let's talk about two marquee pending free agents in 2018.
This is the real matchup I want to watch. Yeah.
Hands down, hands down. I know we'll actually show the video later that we kind of put together on two of the best players in the game right now, Manny Machado versus Bryce Harper. I am so excited to see them in the same park they normally play, just 39 miles away from each other. We're going to see them here this week. I mean, you've Manny Machado, who's leading all of baseball with 44 RBI. Bryce Harper had another home run, his 16th of the season yesterday against the Miami Marlins. Wow. I mean, just two fun players to watch.
And there are some weird similarities between these
Crazy
two.
weird.
They have the exact same career average, 282. They're just about 13 home runs off from each other, and the RBI numbers are almost exactly the same. They've also played just 2 more games. Harper has played 2 more games than Machado in his career. I mean, that is crazy. These guys were born 3 months apart. They made their debuts in the same year. And they're both going to be very rich at the end of this season.
That's probably the best part, right? No. So in 2010, we'll go back when they both got drafted. Bryce Harper went #1 overall.
Yep.
Manny Machado went #3 overall. Like you said, same career batting average.
Yep.
Very similar in RBI, games played. You talked about that. And home runs.
Yeah, and the weird
over their careers, not just over this past season.
Exactly.
That's insane.
And the weird thing is both these guys have dealt with injuries, so to be 2 games off in terms of games played,
that's just weird.
Is just odd. And both knee problems for both of these guys. Machado had knee problems earlier on in his career, but he's played more games since 2012 than Harper has, and Harper missing a lot of time last year with that hyperextended left knee when he slipped on first base. So they've had knee problems for different reasons, but they've definitely been hampered by those in their career. So we'll see if, hopefully, both of them get through the season healthy, and right now both of them are playing terrifically, so they're both in line for good contracts.
I want to see if either of them or both of them can intentionally walk this series, because they're both leading all of baseball with 8 times being intentionally walked. And that's kind of crazy because obviously Bryce Harper has more protection in the lineup, but that just speaks, I guess, how great Manny Machado's been.
Yeah.
He's hitting for power, he's hitting for average, he's been outstanding this season, and of course Bryce Harper went on a little bit of a cold streak, but I think it's great to look out for to see if after last night hitting a 16th home run, he starts to get back on track and start hitting for average, starting the series.
And that's the one area of their career they really differ would be getting on base. They both have the same average as mentioned, but Harper gets on base a whole lot more throughout his career because he has gotten walked. He always had that superstar status that Machado maybe had to work a little bit harder for. Machado also had maybe some worse plate discipline when he was going up in the ranks, but at this point, he's got terrific plate discipline. But, you know, Harper has always had that superstar status. Pitchers have always avoided Bryce Harper whenever they possibly can. So throughout his career, he has racked up a whole lot more walks. But Machado now, as you mentioned, right up there in terms of intentional walks and walks.
And I mentioned before, he's leading all of baseball with RBI, so let's see if guys get on base and he could drive those runs in this series and continue to lead that with 44. The number one question I want to pose to you, and obviously we're going to get to it later when you guys watch our little video with actually how crazy identical their stats are compared to one another, is who would you rather have, right? They're both pending free agents. You said they're both going to get huge money. I'm talking $300 million or more probably for both players, regardless how long their contracts are. Could be up to a decade, but that's big money. I'd love to have that money, wouldn't you? Who would you rather have if you were, I guess, going to acquire a huge free agent in 2018? Bryce Harper or Manny Machado? One's a shortstop, one's an outfielder, both power-hitting players. I mean, these guys are great. But who would you rather have? I'm posing to both these Orioles fans and Nationals fans. Bryce Harper or Manny Machado?
And in this hypothetical situation, you can mess with contracts. You can all
do what you want. We want to see. I'm not going to tell you who I want.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because I just want both. But I don't have the money for both.
Yeah. Maybe not. Yeah. Not just yet. But at this point, I mean, both these guys are going to get huge contracts. Injuries definitely is something to consider, and also where they play. You know, the fact that Machado plays shortstop, you build up a little bit.
Could go back to the hot corner. You don't know.
Yeah, you build up a little bit more wear and tear on your body, especially at shortstop, and even probably more at third base than you would in right field where Harper is. So, you know, maybe teams are a little bit warier about signing Machado because they would worry about his longevity. And
you could definitely sign Bryce Harper to a longer contract, I would argue.
Probably,
just because outfielder.
I have a feeling, though, both these guys are going to get
large
contracts and probably however long they want them for.
So comment below right now as you're watching live. Who would you rather have, Bryce Harper or Manny Machado? You gonna tee up the video later?
Sure, yeah.
Tell them what they're gonna watch.
Yeah, so basically some of the stats we teased out in this, they're gonna check out Harper versus Machado, look at their career stats and where they stand at this point, and also how they're doing this season. Very different seasons, but very good seasons in their own respect.
Okay, let's talk about today a little bit. Got these t-shirts for you guys.
Yes.
All fans today that come to the game are gonna receive this Orioles Memorial Day t-shirt. Pretty cool.
Pretty great.
Pretty great.
Yeah, and we know some Nats fans are probably going to be coming up from D.C. Maybe some
Still a cool
fans
shirt.
in the area that switched
Nats
allegiances.
fans, Orioles fans, I'll wear it.
Absolutely, yeah. So
that's for today, and then I think this is pretty awesome. All at first 20,000 fans, 15 and over, receive this Orioles cooler backpack.
Love it.
And this is presented by Visit Sarasota. This is on Wednesday. That's actually really cool.
Great stuff for Memorial Day.
Look at this.
I believe they're going to be wearing their Memorial Day jerseys and caps
is a cooler.
today. Yeah.
Love it. All right. That's all we have for you today.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, I talked a little bit about it earlier. I'm going to be with Mark Zuckerman and Rock Kubako. That's tomorrow. On Tuesday, I'm going to talk to them covering, obviously, the Orioles and the Nationals, two different beat writers, and how it is coming together at Camden Yards right down the road, or for Rock, who's always here, and how it is covering these two teams. And then on Wednesday, a little bit different, but I'm going to have Gary Thorne and Bob Carpenter join me, the play-by-play for the Orioles, play-by-play for the Nationals, for our very own MASN broadcasters. They have actually overlapped at ESPN, but they've never really worked together. So we put them in the same booth. Two amazing, probably you said earlier, best in the game, calling these home run calls, and of course the whole game all season long for us. Get them together. Chit chat. What
a combination.
What a combination.
They both are very, I would say, verbose and have a lot to say.
I'm just going to stand in the middle while they talk. So I'm not even going to host it. I'm just going to say, let's chit chat. I'll sneak out while they're in the middle of the conversation. They won't even know.
They both have two absolutely outstanding and iconic home run calls.
That's exactly why home runs need to be hit during the series so we can hear their iconic. I'm going to switch back channels back and forth to hear the different home run calls.
Yeah, goodbye home run, and see you later. I also want to know what you guys think. Who has the better home run call?
You're going to put that on them?
I'm going to put that on them.
Wow. All right, well, let us know.
Two great ones. You really can't lose with either one of those.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Well, that's all we have for you today.
Yeah, check out this view one more time of Camden Yards, which is where the game is going on today, 1 o'clock, 12:30 is pregame. Orioles coverage is on MASN. Nats coverage is on MASN too, and we talked about it earlier. Harper versus Machado. Ooh. That's the matchup to watch in this series. Sarah and I did this fun little piece on the two of them.